This is the Dallas Morning News. It's Thursday, September 11th. Sunny and hot today with a high of 97. Clear tonight with an overnight low of 72. Here are today's headlines. Hemp-based THC products, such as gummies and drinks infused with the cannabis compound, will be restricted to adults age 21 and older, while state alcohol regulators study how to further regulate the burgeoning industry, under an executive order issued Wednesday by Texas Governor Greg Abbott. The age limit goes into effect immediately. The products, which contain low doses of hemp-derived THC, the psychoactive compound in marijuana, could also be subjected to testing, location, and packaging restrictions if agencies such as the Texas Alcoholic Beverage Commission and state health officials can come up with a way to do it after lawmakers failed to pass any new laws about the products this year. Abbott said, absent the kinds of regulations that apply to other psychoactive substances that may safely be enjoyed by adults, like alcohol and tobacco, minors have been allowed to purchase these products without any safeguards. The legislature did not pass any legislation concerning consumable hemp products, not even a ban for minors, leaving in place the status quo. Consumables containing THC have been legal since a 2019 law legalized hemp farming, but because lawmakers did not anticipate the proliferation of intoxicating products, they have gone unregulated as the number of retailers has skyrocketed. The state outlawed THC vapes starting September 1st, but snacks, gummies, and drinks are still available. In other news, Texas lawmakers offered an outpouring of prayers and condemnation after learning that popular conservative activist Charlie Kirk had been killed at an event in Utah. The 31-year-old Kirk died Wednesday after being shot in the neck during an event at Utah Valley University. The White House confirmed his death and ordered flags to be flown at half-mast until Sunday. In response to what many called an assassination, Texas politicians on both sides of the aisle decried what they perceived as a growing amount of political violence. But even as strong words of support were offered for Kirk and his family, others took to assigning blame. Next up, a former Texas Christian University student filed a federal lawsuit Wednesday against the school, arguing its sexual assault policies do not protect students from rape, and sought $100 million in compensatory and punitive damages. The former student argued that the private university has violated Title IX, the federal law that prohibits sexual discrimination at educational institutions, by failing to sufficiently punish a male student who was found guilty of sexual assault earlier this year. The filing reads, rather than protect female students from being raped, TCU adopted a policy to protect male students who rape. The policy is designed to create the illusion for female students of protecting them by compliance with Title IX, while not offending the male students who rape. The lawsuit asks a federal judge to require TCU to expel or suspend students found responsible for rape for at least 1 year, and to note permanently on a student's transcript if found responsible for rape. And Dallas area rapid transit riders will feel service cuts aimed at saving the agency $24 million per year early next year, approved by the transit agency's board Tuesday. The changes include frequency reductions on many buses, weekend peak frequency changes from 15 to 20 minutes on light rail, and the discontinuation of 7 low-performing routes. The moves pull back on $60 million in cuts, including the elimination of 9 routes and some GoLink zones, reducing paratransit service and nearly doubling paratransit fares that caused a public outcry during a July hearing. But the cuts account for reduced operating revenues as the agency redirects 5% of its sales tax revenue back to cities as part of a voluntary general mobility program. The program, created in the hopes of appeasing member cities pushing for state-mandated funding changes at DART, will refund 7 cities a collective $42 million to use on local transportation projects. Thanks for listening. For more on today's stories and the latest breaking news, visit dallasnews.com. Enjoy your day, and I'll be back tomorrow with more from the Dallas Morning News.